here in the south of France, and what we should be doing is cruising around the vineyards in this beautiful E-Type Jaguar. But unfortunately there's a problem whereby when you get to the end of that road, about 4 or 5 minutes down, the car starts popping and backfiring and spluttering and then eventually just dies. So I've come back to the south of France armed with a new ignition coil, which is what I think it is, a set of leads and a set of plugs. So the first thing we're going to do is change the ignition coil, but just before we do that we're going to get a heat gun on the ignition coil, because when an ignition coil fails it usually overheats. If you are experiencing, or we think you're experiencing, a problem with the ignition coil, you can pick up a heat gun on eBay for not a lot of money, and that will tell you the temperature of the ignition coil. If that ignition coil is too hot to touch when you've just broken down, then the chances are it's faulty. The number one source of a faulty ignition coil is faulty leads. So I've also bought a set of leads, and this car already had a set of plugs in it. So I'm going to change the coil first, see if that cures the rough running, and then I'm going to come back and change a set of leads. The old coil is off. It's not actually marked with positive and negative on this coil, whereas the new coil is. So what you got to remember is, if you've got electronic ignition on your car, which this one does have, the negative wire goes from the distributor to the negative point on the ignition coil. We fit the ignition coil. It only remains to be seen if the car starts up. It'll either start or there'll be a loud flash explosion and all the electrics will be fried because it's connected the wrong way around. The moment of truth. Good luck! Don't forget to put the actual lead back on when you do it. With the lead on, does that sound better? Sounds rough. We made it a bit further down the road, but just the same problem. Car's conking out, wants to die, it's not running on any cylinders. You can see like a little bit of smoke coming out of here, the air intake manifold. So it tells me that the culprit is not the ignition coil.